Whenever I talk to somebody about homeschooling versus public schooling, the argument always is, oh, well, if you homeschool your kids, they're not going to learn to be social. So what, we're supposed to just be like, oh, well, school is just propaganda. They're just, teaching kids to obey and to just follow along. But they learn to be social. Oh, schooling is just a bunch of ideology, like different sexual ideology, and it forces these ideologies onto your kids. But hey, your kids get to be social. School is, teaching kids to just, work for somebody else and, learn how to pay attention to a bell. And oh, when the bell happens, oh, then I get to go eat. Oh, when the bell happens, then oh, I get to go home. And then I go home and what? Play video games, watch TV, and then what do? Go to sleep, wake back up and do the same thing over and over. But hey, at least your kids get to learn to be social. Schooling doesn't teach kids about taxes, about how to be successful, about, denying yourself and strengthening yourself. But hey, at least your kids get to learn to be social. There's way more cons than there is pros to public schooling than there are for a homeschooling. It's crazy, but people always use this argument, and I just don't think it makes any sense. Before, back in the day, they used to say, oh yeah, homeschool kids are weird, and yeah, I mean, they would be different, but now there's just so many more people homeschooling. There are, where a bunch of group of kids homeschool together, so they do get to be social. Okay, they can, put them in sports, they can, do a lot of different things to keep their kids social, and they can, teach the kids about the realities of life and how to succeed. If you look at the animal kingdom, what happens when a bird is born? Okay, the first thing, it learns to fly, and then the parents teach it how to get food, teaches it how to survive. That's the first thing. You have to go get food, you have to get food, you have to get food. It teaches them how to survive. Now, the human world is like, that doesn't happen all the time. We're not taught how to survive. We're taught how to, be obedient, to those in authority and go along and believe whatever you're told by those in authority. And that's not really survival, that's dependence. Okay, when you're dependent, you depend on other people for things, and that's all that schooling is doing. It's training kids, you know, to just work for somebody else, even to give in to your desires, to be dysfunctional almost. Okay, so this whole argument of, oh, well, the kids are not going to be, they're not going to learn to be social, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, it makes zero sense. So please stop using that argument that kids are not going to be social if they're homeschooled. Homeschooling, I mean, everybody knows it's way better when there's a parent at home and they're there with the kids at all times, because a lot of times the parents are just working nonstop and they're not able to even be there when the kid gets home from school. So the kids are doing their own thing. They're being raised by the internet, by TV, by movies, by all these other, influences that may not be the best thing for their kids. So all these arguments against homeschooling just don't make any sense. And I think it would be the best for society if kids were homeschooled until schools actually taught kids how to survive in this world and be successful. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. Take care.